Good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of the Citizen Consumer Club, Etiraj College for Women, in association with Department of Civil Supplies and Consumer Protection, Government of Tamil Nadu, I extend a warm welcome to all the teachers, faculty members, students and participants of today's event, CONSOFESTUM' 21, to commemorate World Consumer Rights Day. The event for the day is debate. Today, we have Mr. Bharat Natarajan with us. He is a graduate from Loyola College and is also an ACCA and CMA. He has won over 100 cultural events in and around the country, ranging from quizzes and debates to all sorts of business events. He is also a keen FC Barcelona supporter who believes that Leo Messi is the GOAT. We welcome you, sir. Over to Archana.
The rules for the event are as follows. The topics will be given on the spot. Preparation time will be 1 minute. Each team must consist of 2 members. It will be a 2 versus 2 event. One team must speak for the motion and the other team must speak against the motion. Each team member will be given 2 minutes to present their argument and 1 minute for rebuttal. Participants must strictly follow the time limit. Vulgarity leads to immediate disqualification. The judge's decision will be final and binding. Participants are kindly requested to turn on their videos. Sir, do you want to add anything to that?
To make some modifications. Hi guys, am I audible and visible? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Just type in a yes in the chat if you can. Okay, cool. So, see, how I'm planning to do this debate is I'm assuming there are 9 teams so far through the list that I've gotten. So we'll do a 2v2 debate. It's going to be a very simple generic 2v2 debate. That is, one team will be going off another team with the same topic. One will be for the motion, 2 people will be speaking for the motion, 2 people will be speaking against the motion. And the people who are speaking, so it'll be speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4, right? So speaker 1 from team A will go first. Then the speaker 1 from team B will go first, go second. Then the speaker 2 from team A will go third. Then the speaker 2 from team B will go fourth. Does it make sense? Just need a yes now and then because I'm not able to see you guys for some reason. Right? Okay. So this is how it's going to be structured. I'm not saying this is a parliamentary debate of sorts. I'm not going to be judging this on the same criteria as parliamentary debate, but I do expect some sort of qualities of parliamentary debates. That is, non-repetition of points or countering the opposition's points, and you know, just the things that you would see in a parliament debate. I would like to see those today, and it's going to be pretty simple topic. It's nothing too vague or too subjective. Nothing of that sort. It's going to be plain and simple, very debatable topics. And yeah, so I'll just tell you the criteria on the basis of which I'll be judging this debate on. Primarily, it's going to be clarity of arguments. I do not mind the grammatical errors. I don't mind anything of those sort. I just need clarity in your thoughts. I just need clarity in your arguments. I need impact and brevity in your argument. That is, how much are you adding value to this debate, right? So if you're talking about something, you're getting stage time, and how well are you using that stage time to create an impact about the thing that you're talking about, right? That's what matters in both in this event and outside of this event. And relevance. You can't talk about something that is out of the topic. It might be very, 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 very impactful, but it needs to stay within the scope of the argument. So these are the 3 things that I'll be looking forward to today. And these are primarily all these 3 things carry equal weightage. There is no, I prefer this or that. And everyone's going to be judged on the same. And don't worry about the grammatical errors. I don't mind that. Again, I'll reiterate. Don't hesitate to just take your time. If you stumble a bit, that doesn't really matter to me, right? So these are going to be the primarily the criteria which I'm going to be using. So if you guys have any doubts or any queries on the structure or the format, you can let me know in the chat, or you can turn on your video, unmute yourselves, and ask me, and I'll be happy to answer. Do you guys have any doubts, or can we start? Right?
Shall we call the first team, sir?
Yeah, so you're gonna have to call two teams, right? Because it's a team
Yeah.
meeting anyway. Yeah, so yeah,
So
go ahead.
first up will be Harish B and Danush K from DG Vaishnav College and Jayakumar and Hari Krishna from St. Thomas College.
Okay. Am I like should I be seeing their videos because I'm not? Okay, there they go. Okay. Hi guys. I can see Hari, Harish, Dhanush, and I need to see one more person, I think. Jayakumar. Not able to see Jayakumar. Is Jayakumar here? Yes. Unmute, please. Hari Krishna. Is your teammate here?
Sir, I think he'll be joining shortly. He's facing some inconvenience in the network.
Do you think he'll take long or he'll be joining anytime now?
No, sir, he must be here shortly.
Okay, Jayakumar is in the stream. Okay, okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Okay. Hi, Jayakumar. Cool then. So we'll start this day, start this CONSOFESTUM 2021 with a pretty simple topic. It's it's just what the theme is essentially. It's just the theme. I'm gonna give you the theme as is. It is. I'll just hold on a second. So should I type it in the I type it in the chat? So the topic for you guys is should single-use plastics be banned? Right. Also, guys, keep in mind, not for you guys, the teams that have to the teams that succeed this debate, the topics might not necessarily be plastic related. It could be anything. So keep your mind fairly open on that regard. It could be anything. It could range from ecological issues, sociological issues, environmental issues. It could be anything, but it'll have in one way or the other, it'll be connected to the theme, right? So just keep an open mind. Don't just think plastic. Start researching or take points from this debate. It's not going to matter, right? Cool. So, guys, your topic is going to be should single-use plastics be banned? Single-use plastics are not necessarily like there are different kinds of plastics, right? And there are like different qualities of plastic. Single-use plastics are those kind of plastics which are like thin. You've seen those in supermarkets and stuff where they give it to you in grocery stores and stuff, right? Those very thin, flimsy material. So that is the scope of the single-use plastic that I'm referring to. So should single-use plastic be banned? Right? I'll type it out for you. Should single-use plastic be banned? So this is the topic, right? And I want Harish's team to go for, right? Harish and
Dhanush.
Dhanush, yeah. So I want Harish and Dhanush to go for the topic. That is, you're going to tell me why it should be banned, right? And Hari Krishna and Jai Kumar are going to tell me why it shouldn't be banned, right? Cool. Uh, if Archana can tell me what the preparation times are, they'll just keep that in mind. Cool. 1 minute. Okay, so you guys get 1 minute is pretty short, but take your time. I mean, you can be. I feel like you can be a little bit flexible with the 1 minute. Just take your time. Make pretty solid arguments. I need solid. I need to hear solid. Don't just rant, go on and on about what is there in Wikipedia. I don't want to hear Wikipedia. I've read that all my life. I don't want. I want you to be creative. I want the arguments to be new. It needs to be impactful. I need to learn something new, right? I'm spending time. You guys are spending time. We all need to hear something. Be creative. Put your thoughts out. Put your mind out. Speak your mind out, and make your point. Right? Cool. Take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
Can start, sir.
Sorry. Yeah, if you're ready, we can start. Also, guys, the non-speakers, I'll prefer it if you guys keep your mic on mute. There's a lot of background noise.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So it's Jay Kumar's background noise. Cool. Who's gonna go first from Harish's team?
Sir,
Right.
Dhanush, sir.
Okay, Dhanush. So you'll be speaker one, Dhanush.
Okay,
Right.
sir.
Cool. Let's go.
By using that single-use plastic is so harmful and it is so lowest thing in economy also, sir. It will not use again to our country or ourselves, sir.
Right. And go on. You have time.
And that's it, sir. Next.
Are you sure you don't want to make another point?
No, not, sir. Let's see next point, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine. To you. Speaker from team Jai Kumar's team.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, the way of disposing the plastic are major drawbacks, sir. So that only the land is getting polluted. Everything is happening due to that. So the way of method of disposing must be corrected. So we can. It's not harmful to use a single-time plastic, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. See, guys, you have enough time to talk. You guys have enough. I'm barely seeing one argument being made, right? Try to bring in more points. Try to add value. These are very generic points that you're making, right? Try to bring in more and more and more ideas. I don't want this to be like a 30-second debate. No, you can take your time. We have all the time in the world. Just take your time, think, and just make very strong, poignant arguments, right? Yeah, even
The
for the upcoming teams, at least, just try to make arguments which will last for at least a minute and a half, right? This 10-second one argument isn't going to work. It's barely going to help me. I'm not going to be able to judge from one line or two line how well you're going to make these arguments. So take that into consideration. And yeah, if you want to go again, Jai Kumar, if you want to take another chance at this, I'm willing to give you a chance. But I find it really difficult to judge debate from one line, right? So I hope you understand. If you want to go again, otherwise we can carry on with the first team.
We can carry on, sir.
Okay, fine. Then Harish, your teammate, Hari Krishna. Sorry, Harish. Mine. Sorry, Harish. Yeah, let's go. Harish, I can't hear you. You're not audible. I think there's an audio lag on your end. Can you hear me, Harish? There, there is a problem with the mic. I can log in from other device. Uh, okay. All right. We're off to a poor start, I feel. So there's a lot of technological issues. We'll move to the next slot, right? I feel like this is becoming harder and harder to judge as more struggles are coming up. We'll just get on with the next
Sir,
slot.
we can take another other slot, sir.
You guys take your time, right? You guys take your time, yeah. We'll get back to the slot. I'll keep the topic in head. I'll keep however you guys did in head, and we'll get on with the next slot, yeah.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
Sorry,
I may
sir.
give them a head start, sir. Can I?
Sorry.
Shall I give them a head start?
Shall I give them a head start? I don't get your question.
I have some points to make, sir. So can I give them the other team? That means I can give them some points to debate with, sir. So they can
Oh,
converse with my top points
okay.
and okay.
Okay, fine.
So they
You're
can
saying you
counter
want
my
to
points.
you okay, it's fine. You make your point then. Cool. If you're willing to, please go
I'm
ahead.
asking you, can I do that? Can I make my points?
Yeah, please go ahead. Guys, can I have the organizer, please? The organizer, unmute yourselves, please. I
Thank
need,
you, sir. First of all, I would like to begin with a quote that lack of proper disposal is. Am I audible, sir?
you're lagging quite a bit. How about you take off your video? It's going to take a lot of bandwidth. Just just turn your cam off and then start
Okay,
speaking.
sir.
Yeah, please.
So, okay, am I audible now, sir?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to begin my debate with the quote, sir. That plastic is not the problem, but the lack of proper disposal is.
Okay.
I would like to make a point that the mother of invention is a necessity. Man doesn't simply invent anything that is not useful for him, sir. Okay, so plastic is one such thing which made lives easier for all the common people. Like in olden days when the plastic is not invented, there used to be a lot of food shortages, scarcity, famine, and such other things. With the invention of cold storage system and the plastic packaging system, we were able to transport all the perishable and food items to all the corners of the country. So it came in handy in those days, and it comes in handy even now time, even in the contemporary situations. For example, take the times of floods and emergencies. We get food packets and the edible items which are packaged in the single-use plastics. So my point is they should not be banned completely, but the proper waste management system and the proper mitigation of those plastic waste generated should be mandated by all the governments.
All right. Thank you, Hari.
Sir,
Yes.
sir. No, sir. We should ban the plastic, sir, because nowadays it was so. The language can change, sir.
Yeah. I mean, okay, fine. I mean, preferably not, but okay, if you feel like that's fine, go.
Sir,
I mean, I
plasticலாம் இப்போ
understand. Yeah. Yes.
can I tell?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
சார் இப்போல்லாம் பிளாஸ்டிக் ரொம்ப அதிகமாக வந்ததால எல்லாருக்குமே ரொம்ப ஆபத்து தான் சார் வருது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எல்லாம் வாழை இலைலாம் இருந்தது, அதனால எல்லாருக்குமே இந்த பிளாஸ்டிக் இல்லாததுனால நிறைய பேருக்கு எந்த நோய் எதுவுமே இல்லை சார். நோ டிசீஸ் அண்ட் ஆல் சார். இந்த பிளாஸ்டிக் வந்ததால தான் நிறைய பேருக்கு அந்த இது வந்தது. அதுவும் இல்லாமல் இப்போல்லாம் பிளாஸ்டிக் ரைஸ், பிளாஸ்டிக் ஃபுட், தே பிகம் ஸோ ஹியூஜ் சார்.
Okay. All right. I think I've gotten enough from this debate. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking the effort to make arguments. Ulta allowed. I see Harish typing Ulta allowed. I mean, Harish, this entire debate has been Ulta so far. People have been speaking out of turns and nobody has gone through the format. So I think we can forgo that for once. But the Etiraj, the representative, can you unmute yourself?
Yes, sir.
See, I just need you to check with the participants if they have a stable connection before they come on to the debate. Because if they come on and they get cut off in the middle, it's pointless because they let the teammates down and they let the entire debate down. So I just need you to check that with them and then let them ask. Just make
Sure,
sure.
sir.
Yeah. Just call upon the next two teams. I think I'm done with this lot. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Dhanush, Hari, Harish, Jaikumar. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next up is Jerusha and Shivani from Anna Adarsh College and Kaushal Ram and Gavin Raju from Loyola College.
Um, were your teammates, Kaushal? Teammates,
Yeah, I
sorry.
think he. One second. I'll just check. I think he'll join in a bit. Oh yeah, he's here.
Gavin.
Yeah. He's my teammate.
Yeah.
Okay. And who's the other team? Shivani and
Yeah, 1 second, sir. I'll check.
yeah.
Jerusha.
All right, guys. All right, we'll jump right into the debate. I'll just assign you the speaker roles once I give you the debate.
Okay.
See, I'll just type it in the chat box. I'll also. It's not going to be easy. So judging by the quality, check the chat box. So green consumerism is an idealistic concept which isn't applicable to most demographics in the society. Cool. Are you guys familiar with consumerism?
To an extent, yes.
Any? All right, so that should help. Green consumerism is, as you would expect, the green version of it is more sustainable, more environmental, eco-friendly, and stuff. So that's what consumerism is just like this protection of the consumer's interest, right? It's just Consumer Protection Act on a blown up scale. That is what consumerism is, right? Green consumerism is protecting with regards to the green. You know what they call green, right? I mean, more sustainable ecologically. Cool. So that's what I want you guys to debate. So Shivani and Jerusha, you guys are gonna be for. You're gonna tell me why it isn't applicable to most demographics. Kaushal and Gavin, you're going to tell me why it is. Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
I so just tell me speaker one and speaker two from each of your team. Who's going to go first? Let's note that down, and we can get ahead with it. Also, guys, mind you, please do not speak out of turn, right? I don't want to hear arguments in the middle. If you want to counter, just be more civil about it at the end of the debate and try to counter them within your arguments, right? Just make a point within your argument when you're done.
So here we're going to talk about the Indian context, right? Or is it globally?
Most demographics in the society applies to almost everywhere. It's not geographically bound. So if you want to, if you were the prop, I would give you the liberty to define the scope of this argument. But since you are the opposition, I'm not going to give you that liberty. So try to
Yeah,
stick
sure.
with what they define, what the prop define, right? If they define it as India only, you can continue with that. If they define it as global, you can continue.
Sure.
Cool.
Shall we start, sir?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, okay. So, well, good morning to one and all who are gathered here. I'm Jarusha from Anna Adarsh College, who is going to speak for the motion where green consumerism is not an idealistic topic or idealistic idea for today's generation or the current demographic condition. So, firstly, I would like to tell that we are living in 21st century where everything is modernized. We live in a world where everything is well developed and things around us is hi-fi, and we use everything which makes our work easier. When we consider green consumerism, it is something changing our entire lifestyle into a form which is not harmful for the environment. That is something which is very difficult for us to do at this generation, because we humans always find something which is easy for us to do, and we always go in seek of alternative methods which make our life easy. Whereas green consumerism involves huge cost and time. It's not very easy for us to adopt, and those kind of changes cannot be made within a few days or months. It is very easy to tell, yeah, these kind of change is something which I need, which is very important for our society. That is very easy to state, but that's not possible when it comes to reality. We live in a generation where recently we can see that artificial intelligence which plays a major role. So when all these are coming into the point, green consumerism is something which is not possible right now, and it is not a good idea too, because when we implement green consumerism, we human always take up, like, in the firstly we always try to do something good, and then later, day by day, we always start to find the alternative method, because naturally we humans are lazy in nature, so we always find alternative method in which it makes our life easier. So green consumerism, eh, it is not suitable at this generation. At the same time, it is not uh, something which can be made, which cannot, which we cannot make into happen at this generation, as everything is modernized and technology has developed into a wide variety. So at this time, we humans may not find this one as a useful thing. We always find the thing that simplifies our work and make easier is something which is useful for us. So by this, I would like to conclude and say that green consumerism is not good for now, because we humans always find an alternative source. At times, these alternative sources can be worse than what we are facing now. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Jarisha.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Sir, can I
Um,
talk?
no, not Shivani. One person
Okay.
from Kaushal's team.
Yeah.
So that's
I'll
how the
start.
debate is structured. Just a second, Kaushal. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
how it's going to
Yes.
be, guys. Please, the next teams or teams to follow, please note this. It's going to be speaker one from the team A, then the speaker one from team B. Right? It's going to go. It's going to keep switching between the teams. That's what makes it a debate, not two people speaking continuously from the same team. Just keep that in. All right, Kaushal.
I just have a doubt. So, per speaker, what is the time limit? So, how much time do I get to put for my
See,
points?
they said about 1.5 minutes, but I'm a little bit lax on that. I did let Jerusha speak for a while. I mean, as long as you have clarity arguments and clear arguments, and you aren't taking too long, I think that should be fine. I'm not nagging you guys for taking too long. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean they'll keep track of the time. I'm assuming. Yes, Archana. I'm entrusting you guys with that. You guys will take care of the timer. I'm just checking the debate call. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's go then,
Uh,
question.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for this opportunity. So, I would like to start off with what Jerusha said. She said, we are living in a 21st century where everything is developed. Yes, we are living in a 21st century where everything is developed, which is exactly why green consumerism is extremely idealistic. So, what is green consumerism? Green consumerism is doing anything in an eco-friendly manner. Okay, so green consumerism does not involve high costs, because what is green consumerism? It just involves things like switching off your light when you're going out, closing the tap when you finish using water, throwing plastic in garbage. If throwing plastic in a garbage and turning off light is something which is extremely tiresome for you, ma'am, there's something fundamentally wrong. It is not. It's definitely not anything lazy. Now let's go with the most difficult concepts of green consumerism, which involve things like building of solar panels or things like that. In developed westernized countries, a lot of people have solar panels, which is great and which makes green consumerism extremely idealistic, and is already idealistic there. However, in a country like India, where there's the rich poor and extremely poor. You can't expect that. So, rich people, most of the rich people already have things like solar panel and things like that. However, the poor people can also contribute to things like green consumerism by reducing the use of water, turning off lights whenever they can, throwing plastics in the correct garbage instead of throwing it in the roads. These are green consumerism. These are the things which involve green consumerism, not things anymore. Switch off the engine vehicle when you're on traffic. So by doing this, you save the environment, and these are not things which these are not things which are too much to ask. And then there's a point where it involves huge costs. Ma'am, if you're going to switch off your lights when you go out, it's going to save you cost, not uh, increase your cost. It's just going to save you. So green consumerism in a very normal approach is going to save you a lot of cost rather than giving you too much of cost burden. There are countries that have started following green economy, things like green economy, where carbon dioxide emission is come down. So that itself shows that green consumerism is what all of us are looking forward to, and which is exactly why it is extremely idealistic. I'll finish off by giving one example of why India as a society can adapt to green consumerism. When Modi first announced the Swachh Bharat scheme, all of us were extremely, hyped about it, and all of us took part in it, and all of us did whatever we could to, make sure our country is clean, because we knew there was, dirtiness is wrong. How similarly, if people are educated saying this is all you need to do, green consumerism is very, very small things, and very, very small things which involves just the tapping of hand or throwing of waste in a proper place, all of us will be hyped, and all of us will move forward to do it and make it a very idealistic concept. With that, I rest my stance, and I thank you for this opportunity.
No, that's true. Yeah. So, right. So now that one speaker from each team is done, I would like to reiterate your roles and responsibilities as the second speaker. Shivani, you're gonna add more
Okay,
points to
sir.
this argument, and you will counter what Kaushal said if you would like. Right? That is your role as the second speaker. Same goes for you, Gavin. If whatever Shivani says, if you want to counter that, you can counter
Okay,
that
sir.
in
As
your.
you stated about economic, social, and cultural forces have set the framework for green consumerism. This is because it is a social attitude and the movement in modern era, especially aimed at encouraging people to be more aware of the firm's production process and only to buy the use of products and services that do not harm the environment. For this reason, green consumerism has created a balance between the buyers behaviors and the organization profit objectivities, as it is mostly based on sustainable and pro environment behavior of consumers that it has social attitudes such as preference to purchase loose products like vegetables, and it has many advantages like it increases energy efficiency. Green consumers' attitudes advocate for the efficient use of energy, which ultimately helps in saving money, reducing bills, lowering emissions of greenhouse, and enabling economies to meet the growing energy demand. Through and green consumerism, environment and economic benefits of utility system as well as management of risk associated with inefficient production process have also been attained, and this also decrease the release of emissions and other pollutants during production and transportation process. Then I like to thanks to green consumerism, emissions from the transportism sector and industries have been considerably reduced. Also, because of green consumerism that advocates and programs that standards against the emission have been put in the place, thus that lower emissions from engines and motors and advancement of clear burning fuel and the consumption of more healthy foods. Through green consumerism that advocates, there have been increasing need of more eco-friendly food production. As a result, people gradually developing a culture of buying more organic and local food, which is arguably healthier as they are not cultivated or produced using artificial chemical fertilizers and antibiotics or even pesticides. Just think how to become a green consumer, about the depletion of Green cover has it have effect on natural habit that may look ordinary and less important now. In many years to come, people will realize how beneficial it would have been conserve the planet to avoid regret decades into the future. However, we begin to conserve the green cover and other natural resources by becoming green consumer. We have a few like the saving consumption in our surroundings. Just take this point. Through it challenging to conduct a door-to-door alert on saving energy, a lot can still be done in a personal level. This is saving as much energy as it is possible from home and work. This involves switching off
Yeah.
lighting and other power sources when they are in both at work in our homes. One can also develop a habit of sitting in a single room daily rather than having many sources of electricity on by operating in a different rooms of building. Even there is a chance of change of mindset. It is difficult to force people to consume products or use services that prevents the depletion of natural resources, and that has result in habit of loss or environmental degradation. As
Cool.
such, every person needs
Shivani,
to
I think
change their mind.
you're way past the the time allotted, right? I mean, we need to get on with the debate. I
Okay,
get
sir.
your
From
arguments.
this, I'll conclude green consumer is an idealistic concept which isn't applicable to most demographics in the societies.
Thank you, Shivani. Right? Also, guys, keep your arguments creative, like I mentioned already. I don't want reiterations of the internet. I want your creativity in these arguments. So try to do that. I mean, I don't blame you guys, but the prep time you get, but try to be more creative with the kinds of points you get, right? And like Shivani, I would have expected you to argue Kaushal's point a little bit, like even more, even with more clarity. But yeah, fair enough. You brought in a lot more points, which opens the scope for debate. Gavin, we're ready if you want to.
So I would like to start off by rebutting the points put forth by the first speaker. The first speaker had told that it's not an easy step to adopt to such a environment like a green consumeristic idea. So every process, like everything that has happened so far in the history of mankind, starts off with small steps. And if we start these small steps right now, within a decade or two, we'll be able to have a completely green consumeristic economy in our country, not only our country, throughout the whole world. And Bhutan has already set an example for us. They have gone carbon negative, the first country to go carbon negative, and they have been ranked first in the global happiness index, which is not. I'm not saying that it has been practically proved that it's because of that, but when a country's carbon emission is less than the amount of carbon it produces, it is way it can be practically thought that we will be more happier and will save more energy, and that's the main idea of the green consumeristic idea. And then the environmental challenges that we face now, like Greta Thunberg puts forth that we are facing a global crisis, and the major solution, the best solution that we have for us is the green consumeristic idea. And this has not only been started now or for a couple of years. From the 60s and 70s, the United Nations has started to move towards this green consumeristic idea, and it's simply the way we purchase, the way we reuse, and the way we recycle what we have. From the beginning, when we purchase, we should have in mind a set of ideas that it has to be green consumerist, it has to be reusable, and it has to be recycled, and we shouldn't pollute the pollute the world. And renewable energy, that's the next point in green consumeristic idea. So the solar energy, the wind power, and the hydro electric plants, all these give us renewable energy, reusable energy, which can be reused and renewed and will not get exhausted like the mining field and the coal fields. And even the Tamil Nadu has started to ban the single-use plastic. This is also a step towards the green consumerism. And the main and effective advantage that we have is that we will have a healthier consumption of lives. Like we'll be consuming healthier food, we'll be saving more energy, and we'll be more happy with our lives. And as of and to con
Yeah,
and
try
yeah
and wrap up your arguments.
so to wrap up my argument, this green consumeristic idea is the best thing we got, and it will surely change the mindset of each and every individual on this planet towards a greener and safer world. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for taking time. Cool. Good luck. Good luck so with the results and stuff. Cool. Then we'll have the next two teams up here. Please check with them if they have their mics and stuff.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Next team will be Mahima Shiridi and S. Anurag from Stella Maris and Reva University, and Linal and Nalin from Lala College.
மா இங்க வராதீங்கம்மா.
Okay. Everyone's ready, right? Cool. So, just to make sure, who's your teammate? Linal? Linal
Yeah.
and
Nalin.
Linal and Nalin and Mahima and Anurag. Yeah. Cool. Okay, guys. All right. So the same structure. I hope you've been attending from the beginning this debate in particular. So you guys are aware of the structure, right? Speaker 1, speaker 2, speaker 3, speaker 4. Yeah. One from team A, one from team B, one from second from team A, second from team B. Cool. That's how it's going to be. I don't want to reiterate that. Your topic will be this. I'll type it out.
So sorry to interrupt you. Can we
Yeah.
just check if all of us are audible?
Yeah, make sure.
Yeah, so I'm audible and visible, right?
Yeah, you are. Anurag is as well, I'm assuming. All right. So there's a lot of background noise, Nalin. Keep yourself muted unless it's your turn to speak. All right. So this is going to be a topic. GMOs are a sustainable alternative to stimulate the agricultural economy. So what I mean by GMO is I am referring to the agricultural. GMO is an entire umbrella, right? So GMOs could be anything wildlife. It could be plants. I'm just referring to the agri products. So anything genetically modified is a sustainable alternative to stimulate the agricultural economy. Cool. That is the context, and this is along these lines is the debate that will look forward. Cool. All right. So, sorry, I forgot to mention who's prop, who's up. I like Mahima and Anurag to go prop, that is for the motion, and Linal and Nalin to go op, that is against the motion. That is you guys. Mahima and Anurag will tell me it is a sustainable alternative. Linal and Nalin will tell me it is not a sustainable alternative. Cool. Yeah. All right. Take it. All right, guys, are we good to go? Is the prop ready?
Sir, am I visible and audible?
Yeah, you are. My man.
Yeah. So,
Whenever you're ready, we'll start. Yeah.
yeah, can I start? I'll be the first speaker
Yeah.
from the forum. So, I'm Mahima from Salamaris. Good morning, everybody. Our topic is with relevance to GMO and sustainable agriculture. So, I would like to start off with what GMO is. It's basically anything that is genetically modified, the DNA being changed towards the consumer's liking or the customer's liking. So, the genetically modified, the main reason of GMO is that they're inherently supposed to be sustainable. The whole point of us modifying it is for the farmers or the end producers to have a sustainable source. So, it's the main purpose of making it is sustainable. So, that itself makes my case that it is a sustainable alternative. So moving on into detail, there's an example of golden rice. So it was made in China, and eventually it was banned, and then it came back. The whole point of golden rice was that the color was different, and it had a high content of vitamin A. They banned it because the vitamin levels were insufficient, and then they modified it even better, and now it's a really good source. So when we bring in additional vitamins and additional good aspects to the products that we usually consume, it's good for the consumers, the farmers, because they get high yield and high money, and to us, right, when you consume it, we get even more benefits than just normal rice. So when we have such amazing alternatives, they are meant to be sustainable, because in our life we have a lot of chemicals, a lot of pesticides, a lot of negative aspects influencing our life. So when we have good produce and good health benefits to all of these GMOs, genetically modified organic produce, personally I would only opt for these. And it also yields higher, and it's easy for the farmers to cultivate them, and it reduces all the weeds and unwanted plants growing around. So in a farmer's perspective, it's very good for them, and it's economical, and it yields them more money too. So that is in term sustainable for the farmers. And for us, it's really good health benefits, and basic items like corn, soybeans, cotton, potato, everything can be genetically modified, and the benefits are over the roof. And for the environment, as to speak, it reduces greenhouse gas emission, and it retains carbon in the soil, and it reduces tillage, which is very important for everybody in the environment. And greenhouse gas emission, right? If the plants we consume, which are produced in a large scale, and it reduces greenhouse gas emissions, that is a huge percentage to the development of economic environmental growth. So, and it has no specific needs. They're very easy to cultivate. They have set of all the pesticides and all of that that the farmer gets to use, and it's economical for them. So economically, environmentally, and for the people who cultivate it and for the people who consume it, it's all useful. And I don't see any negative aspects as to GMOs. And even if we do have negative aspects, it's already modified. The DNA is already modified, so we can definitely modify it even better and use it for our benefits. So when we rely on science to save the environment, economy, people, and our health, we definitely will flourish. So right now, the GMOs need to gain more attention. So with that, I rest my case, and I believe it's a very sustainable option.
Thank you, Maima. Speaker one from the other team can start now.
Hi, my name is Lionel and I'm from Loyola College. First of all, people need to get a clear understanding of this GMO, which is going to affect us in the long run. This modern world, everything wants instantly. It's like a writer who's taking coke or some form of illegal drugs just to do it for a writing. and in the long run he's going to get addicted to it. He's going to have a really big issues in his life. And let's just say if you just put artificial sorry, pest controllers and all that stuffs which are produced by those chemical labs out of these GMO technologies, they are just going to nourish the plant. They are not going to affect, they are definitely going to affect the soil, and they are going to, if they just drop by the water paths which are on the, like the normal river banks or something, it is going to again affect our water, which is the water which the farmers are going to consume. It's like a slow suicide process. You just take a lot of things like pesticides, these cows being modified just to give faster milks, and it's not good. There are researches going on which is going to prove that the calcium level in milk is rapidly decreasing because of the modernization in our country. Let's just say the broiler chickens. You know how lazy these broiler chickens are now. Chickens are used to just take the weeds from the farms. Nowadays, the chickens are just sitting. If you go see a chicken farm, they'll be stable. Like they're really lazy, which is again going to affect the farmers. There's no beneficial help in this, and the farmers they just go on to multinational corporations. It's a big loop. It's a giant loop where you buy pesticides, then you buy this chicken broiler things, just in the injections to make the chicken big. It's a loop. It's a myth that these MNCs created, so the farmers have to rely on themselves to the MNCs forever through for their living, which is not good at all. The world is going towards organic foods, and this is not the right way, and everyone knows it's going to affect your body on the long run. There used to be a sheep called Dolly, which was cloned, genetically modified. It just made a new sentence. That's all it is. Nothing more is going to come out of it. No one ever tried it again. No one find it anything useful on that thing. And my previous contestant told that it's using farmers for their economical thing. How is that even economical? I really don't get it. You just have their economy is like they are just spending more on their thing. They can just buy a bunch of earthworms they just picked up somewhere on the floor, or they can just make a whole good organic things which can make their farms better. My point is going to affect us in the long run, which is definitely not the most advisable thing, and everyone knows it, and they're just running away from it, knowing the truth.
Cool. Thank you, Lionel. All right, again, I'll reiterate. Second speaker's job is to make points and then counter if they want, if they'd like, the opposition's arguments. Cool. Make your points and then counter. Don't make countering your entire argument. Cool. All right. Anurag, I'm ready if you are.
Yeah. So I'm Anurag. I'm going to speak for this that is GMO is a sustainable alternative to stimulate the agriculture economy. I'll say why. First thing, it increases it increases a lot of production, and it improves the conditions what we have now. It's also helpful for that, and it's also again on in terms of nutrients which we are lacking in our system because of eating the junk food and all these things we are having right now. It does doubles the nutrients, and it is also a part of organic. People think it's not organic, but it is a part of organic. It is very good. Yeah, yes, it will take a lot of time for the whole India or the whole world to take on this, but it's just that unless you start doing something, how will you know it's good or bad? So that's the thing. And few examples of this are like cash crops, like cotton, soybeans, maize, wheat, and all these things are really helpful. They get money. So if it can be tried on those plants and crops, it will help in production of lots of production of that. We can, as India, we can produce more of it and get money out of it. That's the whole point of economical. The economy will improve in us. And yeah, also it takes very less land. It takes a lesser land in terms of traditional cultivation of crops, which makes it again economical. If they use less production, like if they use less land for lots of production of the crops, it's good. Like it's always a good part. And it is a slow process, but it's a very good process. Unless you start doing something, you will not know it. That's the thing. And yeah, and also it's a lesser cost for farmers. They don't have to spend a lot of money on pesticides and all those things, because this is the whole point. The whole point of going organic is not to spend more money on pesticides. It becomes again healthy for us, as for the consumers, for us. And Also, yeah, GMO are also used for non-food purposes. It includes, for pharmaceutical agents like biofuels and also other industrial fuels and other industrial products. And also the benefits out of this is, hepatitis B vaccine can be taken from the GMO potato. That's a very lesser known fact, which is again a good thing for it can solve people's problems, which will help in the people's life. And to argue the points of Linal, I'm sorry, it is actually a organic. It is actually an organic methods, and it might take a lot of time, but it is a good thing. Unless you start something, as I've already told, it takes a lot of time, but it is a good start. We should start experimenting. We should start doing it. We just can't say no to new ideas. We should be open to ideas, and that's the thing. And also, yeah, in terms of economics and pesticides and all those things, it is actually a point that we don't need much of pesticides and lesser use of land, which makes it again good for economy. And for farmers, it will be a good it'll be a good thing for their
Wrap up your argument.
it'll be a good thing for their knowledge and and the experimental thing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Anurag. Nalin?
Yeah, I'll start.
Yeah, we're good to. Yeah, please.
Okay, it's always one-sided. The thing they focus about is our economy, but they don't focus on our health. By consuming the hybrid vegetables or the food, we no new cancer disease have been created. It's not only affects our health, it also loses the texture of the soil which we plant. And after they say that this hybrid fruits contain more vitamins. The vitamins are drained from the soil, so obviously the soil loses its original texture. The hybrid fruits or the hybrid vegetables are going to cost less than the organic things. If you go to a supermarket, obviously the organic ones are going to cost the most. So in this itself, you can clearly see that organic food matter a lot. And by injecting a cow, by producing more milk, obviously small children are going to drink the milk. By consuming the milk, the children are going to get affected, not the we as an adult, we have more immune, but the infants won't have. So the main thing is they get affected, and more diseases have been caused by that. And the main thing is they are fully focused on the economy, not about the farmers. See, the hybrid foods have been only created in this 21st century. Before that, there were no hybrid. Before that, our grandparents or our ancestors were used to consume all the organic food, where they were healthy, they were staying fit, they were all good enough to work out. They were all good in their lifestyle. But after this hybrid coming to our lifestyle, we are becoming lazy, and we are expecting things to get better. For example, now seedless watermelons are being produced. So what is the use of being produced seedless watermelons to be produced? Is that people are getting lazy? What is that? Taking out the seed and eating the only the pulp. It doesn't matter. It's just making you lazy. And another thing is, the only way this hybrid will be useful is on the cotton industry. Other than that, it's going to affect all the humans, not only humans and the farmers. When the texture of the soil loses, you can't even plant another type of crop or another type of vegetable or anything. With this, I conclude that yeah, our hybrid fruits and vegetables are not good to consume.
All right. Thank you, Nalin.
If you don't
I just
mind, sorry, sir,
yeah,
can I
I
just
saw
make
your question.
yeah.
Yeah, so rebuttals as such, I haven't really done for the other debates, right? I mean, by rebuttal, you mean going against prop and off, like going against each other,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
question, right? So I think since you asked, I'll allow that. But before that, I need to make a few questions to understand your arguments better, Anurag. You spoke about uh, you took the consumerism route to the debate, right? You spoke about how organic or these genetically modified organisms, GMOs, are going to be more it's going to be cheaper essentially is what you were implying in your arguments, right? If I'm not wrong. So, like Nalin had mentioned, GMOs aren't really cheap, at least at the offset. GMOs aren't going to be cheap. They're always the more expensive alternative to to whatever you already have, like naturally produced food. So when you say that, doesn't it knife your argument that it is a sustainable alternative to stimulate the agricultural economy, because it is expensive, which means the demand is not going to be as high as you'd expect for other natural products, right? So the demand supply chain is broken. The supply is going to be, it's still there. I mean, how many people do you see buying organic food over natural food, at least today? There needs to be a shift. Yeah, I agree, but I don't agree particularly with the fact that it's cheaper than what is currently being produced. So how do you back yourself on that, and why do you feel that it would still lead to agricultural economical growth?
So who is supposed to answer this? Me or
Anurag, he made that point, right?
Yeah, I made a point on, yeah, it does make it cheaper, but I'm talking about the consumers. It might be costly for them at the start. At the start, it'll of course be costlier, because that's how every starting point will be. But after a point of time, it gets cheaper. But for the farmers, it'll be cheaper in that sense. I meant, and yeah, because see, unless you get the start, you and also when once it's getting produced, it doesn't mean that everyone at the whole India or the whole world is going to use it at first. So first, people who can afford can buy it. They can tell you in the positive comments. It's not that everyone can go and buy it at the same time. It will take time, as we have already discussed about it. So in that way, it's good. And higher yielder, I also said higher production of things. So if it's higher as there are more production of the this organic and GMO products, it will become cheaper. That's because of there's less demand, and all these thing problems are happening. Once the demand happens, once the production also happens, it will get cheaper. At the beginning, it's always going to be a crisp of money and all these things, but eventually it will get. Unless you go through a bad phase, you won't get a good phase. So, yeah.
Right. All right. That's the clarity I needed. And Nalin, from you, I needed this clarity. This debate was particularly very good because I have so many clarifications to make. So that's kudos on that. But Nalin, can you made this point as to this generic point of why old people from the previous generations are much more healthier because of the kind of natural products that they consume, right? So I need you to back yourself on that, either statistically or give me a very quirky example as to why that is true. Because from my life personally, I feel like our generation focuses a lot more on nutritional values, fitness, and just everything. I feel like it has we have transcended into a much more healthier uh, 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 demographic, right, than before. Yeah, they might have consumed natural food, but where is the evidence that they were healthier or they are healthier than us? So I need some backing on that, and how it relates to stimulating agricultural economy, how that point relates to that. I just need to make that connection.
Yeah, okay. So obviously, you know that our future, our grandparents or ancestors would have been lived more than 80 or 90 years. But now people are dying at 60s or 70 years. That too not, as a natural cause, maybe as in some other thing like our disease or in cancer, something like that. Because of that only they're gonna die. And Anurag said that. Hybrid foods have been cheaper. So obviously, the ones which don't have money are going to buy the cheaper ones, and the people who are rich are going to buy the organic ones, so that they are going to be healthy and they're going to stay fit. And the ones who are
No. I'll make myself clear. We haven't set a base saying organic is healthy, hybrid is unhealthy. We don't know that, because hybrid can also be healthy. Who knows? I mean, there isn't nobody really. None of the four people really stated a point saying hybrid is unhealthy or backed that with a fact or anything. So don't tell me that hybrid is unhealthy or organic is healthy. Don't use it. Just back your point, back what you said, and just we'll get done with this. Cool.
Yeah, that's it. You're telling that no one knows the the perfect decision that is it healthy or is not healthy. But the thing is, we've been using the organic from the start. So it's been a while. So you obviously know that organic food doesn't harm yourself. So the hybrid ones have been introduced only now. So obviously the ones which were introduced now are going to affect our body, not the ones which we previously used. So obviously the things which we are been using from start are going to be the same routine, from our generation to the future generation. That's it.
Cool. Right. Thank you, Nalin. I
Yeah,
got
thank
the
you so
clarity
much.
that I needed. Thank you, guys.
So
Good
can I
debate.
make my point?
Good job.
Can I just
I think
add
I've
one
done.
point? I feel
Yeah.
like it's
Okay.
very pertinent to the argument.
Sure. Okay.
Just
Go ahead.
one point. Okay, so the entire opponent's speech and the entire debate was based on how it's not healthy and how health is important over consumerism and profits, right? So when they even mentioned that calcium is less in milk and it's not good for us, are they aware that we are not even supposed to consume cow milk and it's not good for our human body? And then we're not even supposed to consume a certain food item, and them complaining that you don't have enough calcium in it, it nullifies their point that you're not even supposed to consume it in the first place.
I mean,
So
what do
if
you
you look
mean
at
we are not supposed to consume? Because where's the backing?
sir,
Why are you saying that?
yeah, because there are a lot of researches that say because cow is another animal, right? How cow milk is not good for dogs and cats, it's not good for humans too. We are not supposed to actually consume it
Yeah,
because of an ancient state.
Nalin's argument stand, right? Because milk has been something that has been prevalent from the previous generation to this generation. Everyone's been drinking that. I mean, that sounds like a very vegan argument to me, which isn't pertinent to this
No,
debate.
it's not about vegan, sir, because there are a lot of health benefits to milk, like people say. But then you're not supposed to consume cow milk. Just like how you're not supposed to, even dogs and cats produce milk,
No, I
right?
don't
Why are
get
we not?
what you're not supposed. What does not supposed to mean? Like, why are you saying not supposed to? Is it because of health reasons or or
It is
or,
because of
or
health reasons.
moral
Because
reasons?
no, not moral at all. Because we all
Okay.
consume meat, and that's not the point. It's
Okay.
not a vegan or a
Okay.
vegetarian point.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
health reason, and there are a lot of researches going up, and there were a lot of reports, and the scientists have not exactly identified which enzyme or which hormone affects this. But then, in a long run, when you consume cow milk, it's not good for our human body. And a lot of activists and a lot of organizations, the United Organizations, have spoken about it. So just even about the life expectancy, we didn't even have any facts about how scientifically things affect us. We just had it because our ancestors told us to, and now we have a lot of scientific data to back up our consumption and all of that. So when you're not supposed to have that one item, you can't complain about how it lacks vitamin and calcium.
Yeah. All right.
She's just
Point taken.
excuse me while I talk. She's just I feel she's making it up. Like there's no particular proof or anything for it.
See, I feel like
You've been drinking it for
I mean,
ages. Come on,
yeah,
how can
exactly. That's what I thought too. But then if she's saying, I mean, everything is your word against mine in this debate. I'm not gonna go and if you say 67 is the age or life expectancy, I wouldn't have fact checked. I'm gonna take your word for it as long as it is believable. So that's your
So
conviction,
basically,
which is
the main reason is that the cow's milk has more lactose than milk than from any other animal. So it's not good for our health.
milk is lactose. No, I mean,
Yeah.
No,
it's you can't use fancy words and expect me to be deceived with it. It's
Yeah.
just lactose.
no, like
She stated
basically,
that
no,
dogs
sir, I'm
and
not
cats also
debating it,
produce
sir.
milk. How come humans consume that?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, she
If
stated
dogs,
that even even cats and dogs also
guys,
produce milk. How come a human consume that?
see,
And
I mean,
also, like cow's
this.
milk
All right,
causes
all right, all right.
prostate
I
cancer.
appreciate the spirit. I
this is
appreciate the
another.
spirit, but the debate is going somewhere out of the scope. So I'd like to end it here, and we'll call for the next game. Good job, guys. Really impressed.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Archana, next two teams, please.
Next up is Abhishek Bora from TG Vaishnav College and Tejaswin from Lala College, Priscilla Latika and Martina J from Stella Maris College.
Okay. Um, Priscilla, where's your partner? I can't see the video.
One second, I think she's joining.
Yeah, Tejaswin, your partner as well.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much.
I see Sachin's photo. Sad news, he got tested positive.
Yeah.
Yeah, just got the news. All right, Martina, mute yourself, please. A lot of background noise. Cool. Tejaswin, if you could ask your partner to join ASAP, you can get done with this.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. I'll ping it right now.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm assuming you guys have been live through this debate, right? You guys are aware of the structure, how I'm expecting you guys
Yeah.
to go ahead with your arguments. Cool. Okay. So I don't see the need to reiterate. Just when once your partner joins, I'll send in the topic. You guys can start preparing. This one is your partner going to take some time because we can't make everybody wait.
I don't know. So, like, he's from different college, and I'm from like he's from DG, and I'm
How
from
about how about you give him you know him, right? I mean, I'm assuming you
No,
know
I
him.
don't know, sir. Like, since I was an individual participant, we just got paired off, so.
Arjun, do you want to give that participant a call and check if he's going to come anytime soon? Otherwise, we'll
Yes, I'll call.
yeah, please.
He'll be joining now.
All right. Marcina, how many more participants are left after this debate? Is the
Just
fourth
one
debate, if
more
I'm not
team
wrong?
and the first team. There are three more
The first
teams.
team, three more teams.
Yeah.
There are
Actually, 9 teams are
didn't
there.
okay. So the first team, I think, won. Hari Krishnan's team, they made their argument. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see based on, because they did make their arguments already. I don't want to give them another chance and another chance. So we'll see how it goes. If the next team really want to argue against someone, otherwise we'll make them a debate within intra team.
Okay.
Okay, since we have a little bit of time since that participant joins, I'll just tell you a few pointers, right? So from what I've noticed so far in these three debates is that the prop, that is whoever speaks for the motion, isn't really taking the liberty to define the narrative of this debate. So if I give you a topic, let's say just finished the GMO debate, right? So anybody, if the prop, one of the team members could have just defined the GMO or defined the scope of the argument. So if you're a prop, you can define the scope of the argument, which will limit the opposition's arguments, right? That's what a debate is. You're trying to make your arguments in such a way that it limits, it's strong, it's impactful, but at the same time it limits the scope of the argument that the opposition makes. At the same time, the opposition has the upper hand with making rebuttals, because they're the last ones who will make rebuttals, and they can end the debate on a very, very strong. Yeah. So keep these pointers in head. Use this to your advantage. Make the debate more fun and interesting. Make it competitive. Make it more impactful. Right. Yeah. Hi Abhishek. We've been waiting for you.
Hi, sir.
Uh, yeah. Okay. So mute yourself. I'll just give you your topics and I'll tell you who's for, who's prop, who's op, and I'll give you prep time and you guys can start. Yeah. Mute yourself, Abhishek. If the admin can mute him, there's a lot of background noise. Abhishek. Yeah, cool. Okay. So I've sent in the topic in the chat. I'll provide some context on this. I'll tell you what exactly I'm expecting. Economically poor regions should not be declared as ecologically sensitive regions. So I'll give you an example. Let's say there is Kaziranga National Park, right? It is the radius, that is the places surrounding that place, is are classified as ecologically sensitive, which means that there should be little to no infrastructural development there, or you shouldn't have much development with respect to, you shouldn't really go against the nature to do something. That's what ecologically sensitive regions mean. So if you take an already poor region, like let's say for example Somalia, which is the poorest country in the world, and if let's say you declare it as an ecologically sensitive region, right? Which means that you're essentially saying there should be no economic advancement in an already poor country. So what's it going to do? It's only going to make the poor poorer. So you're going to, essentially what I'm expecting is, should you prioritize uh, economy over environment? That's what I'm expecting. That's the crux of this debate, right? What are you going to prioritize? Are you going to say, okay, you know what, at the cost of people's lives and their livelihood, we need to sustain the environment? Or are you going to tell me we can forgo sustaining environment and prioritize humans, and we can work for their welfare? Cool. That's the argument, and that is the context that I'm expecting this debate to go on along the lines of. Cool. So I want uh, Martina and Priscilla to say yes, it should not be no, it should not be declared as ecologically sensitive regions. That is, you guys are props, right? You guys are proposition, and Abhishek and Tejaswin are opposition. You guys are gonna tell me why it should be, why it can be rather. Cool. So basically, what I'm expecting is Martina and Priscilla are gonna tell me why why you should prioritize economy over the environment, and Tejaswin and Abhishek are going to be why environment over economy. Cool. Cool. All right. Take your time. If you have any doubts about the topic, because it's a very interesting topic, I'm expecting quality debate. So anything, any creative, don't please don't Wikipedia this out on me, please. I've done enough research on Wikipedia. I know if you're gonna make arguments out of Wikipedia, so please don't do that. Be creative. Take your time.
Okay, Bharat, just a clarification. I
Yeah.
and Martina are speaking for the topic, right? That is,
Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah.
against the topic. It should not
No,
be
no.
ecologically.
You
That's what you
are
said.
props. You are props. So what proposition is, whatever I've given, you're gonna argue for that. So you're gonna say should not be declared because the topic in itself has a negative connotation. You guys become prop. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
you essentially what you're gonna tell me is it should not be declared as ecologically sensitive regions. Cool.
Mm.
Yeah. Make sure you stick to the definition and stuff. Yes, Abhishek, you're the opposition. You guys are the opposition. You have to oppose it, to go against the topic. You're going to tell me why it should be declared as ecologically sensitive regions. All right, guys, the proposition can start if you're ready. It's been quite a long time. Yeah.
Okay. Bharat, just a clarification. How many minutes do we have? Do we have a time constraint?
You have, I prefer it if your argument lasts for 1.5 to 2 minutes, yeah. But if you have already started an argument at, let's say, 1:45, like 1 minute 45 seconds, and you need to finish it, I don't mind extending it a little bit, but don't make it too long or stretch it out. When I say thumbs up, you're gonna have to wrap your arguments up, right? Cool.
Cool.
Just
Yeah,
take
got
that as
it.
a sign. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't think I have to explain what the topic is because Bharat explained it pretty well. But when he was telling that, there was this scenario going on inside my mind, which was I'm not sure how many of you have watched Marvel's Infinity War, the Thanos thing. So if you know that, that's exactly what was going on in my mind. So basically, what we are doing here is we are putting future in front of the present. We're doing something for the future because that's what sustainability is all about. It's doing something for the future while you're doing it at present. But if we actually prioritize and give these economically poor regions to the ecologically, make it an ecologically sensitive region, then we're just, what to say, cropping out the first part of the present that the people at the present should be actually benefited. Only then can they save for the future. So we are essentially avoiding that fact and just jumping out to the future, which is not going to last well because people are going to start retaliating. It's going to eventually come down. The next thing is it affects the economy a lot. So India, if you see, is not a developed country, but there are several developed countries which will have an effect over India. They'll start having what to say, they'll start India is a developing economy, but then if we focus on sustainability and putting our environment before our economy right now, we are going to suffer a lot in the next 20 to 30 years because we are in the developing stage and we cannot afford to do that. But see, it's a point of time. After like 30 to 40 years, if this was the debate, then my points would have been different, right? So for the present situation, I don't think we need sustainability. So we need it, but then it has to be seconded. So my third point is this has to reduce cost. So when I talk about cost, I would also like to include the social cost of business. Say if you're not giving them, there is an economically poorer region, and you're not giving that to a business. Instead of that, you're giving it to a national park, say Kaziranga National Park. Then the social costs of the business are going to increase, right? Because they are going to move to a developed place. So normally, if you see backward, if companies set up their industries in a backward region, then they'll be given more incentives, and basically it will become a social economic zone. So they'll be given more benefits. Okay. So the thing is, it's not restrictive. You don't have to put your park in one particular area. So you can actually go to a developed area and set up a park there and make it more sustainable. And when this area gets developed in the next 20 to 30 years, then you can start developing it. So this creates a ripple effect on the economy, and this will be good for the future as well. So what I would like to say is, if we focus on the environment, we're not just talking about like the present people losing their households and their income and everything, but we are also talking about the extinction of the poorest section of the society. This is what is going to happen if we focus on the environment right now. So that's it.
All right. Good job, Priscilla. Tejaswin, your team can start. Whoever is coming up first.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
Can Abhishek make the first move? Like, I would
It's up
like
to
to
you guys.
prefer,
It's up to you. It's up to you guys.
like,
Whoever wants
he
to.
is comfortable.
Okay, so you aren't really familiar with him, I see. Abhishek, can you switch on your video? I'm not able to see you. Abhishek? Is he in this in this call? He left the studio. Okay.
He left.
Okay, so we'll do one thing, Tejaswin. You make the arguments, right?
Okay,
I'll
fine, sir.
not I'll not take into consideration the team aspect of your arguments. You make your arguments.
Okay.
I'll consider you. I'll put you as a solo because this was unexpected. He left
Yeah, I get it.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
So you make your arguments. I'll judge you individually. You'll be a
So, but
like one man
probably
team
can I make?
of sorts.
Probably can Martino also like put a argument so to be like, I could counter it properly.
Sorry.
No, but then we wouldn't
Like,
be we wouldn't have an opportunity to rebut it,
dude, but
right?
I'm
Like if both of us go first.
No, I'll tell this how it's gonna go. Tejaswin, you're gonna speak now. Okay. I'll slot in. I'll not slot in as the second. I can't slot in as the second speaker. But no, we'll do this. You speak for yourself. You make your points clearly, right? And then you try to counter Priscilla's points.
okay, so that's
Okay.
yeah.
In your current time, then Martina will speak, right? And then after that, I'll give you a chance to rebut that as well because you don't have a
So
team
that's
yet.
good.
Cool? Because that's an
Yeah.
opposition's advantage that I feel like I should be giving. Okay.
Okay, so
Cool.
that's good.
All right. Yeah. Start.
Okay. So good morning to one and all, and so the topic is
Oh, great. He's here.
I forgot the topic.
Hello.
Yeah,
Abhishek, Abhishek, do you have a stable internet connection? We're facing a lot of confusion because of you. No. No, Tejaswin, you carry on. You carry on with the points. I can hear you, Abhishek, but do you have a stable internet connection?
Sir.
Do you have a stable internet
I'm
connection?
not audible, sir. Not audible, sir.
Abhishek, put your video off, turn your camera off, and try speaking. Yeah. Can you speak now? I feel like lesser bandwidth will help. Hello, Abhishek.
Sir.
Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of confusion. Tejas, when you start off with your points, then we'll see if Abhishek can put up an argument or not. Otherwise, you will review. Okay,
Sir,
rebut.
your
Okay.
voice is not audible, sir.
I think it's more of a fault on your end, Abhishek. Everyone else is able to hear me clearly. I'm audible. So sort your internet issues out. I'll give you 5 minutes. Try to sort that out and come back. Otherwise, we'll have to find some arrangement for the alternative. Okay. Yeah, Tejaswin, you can start. I don't think I'm audible to.
So good morning,
Cool.
everyone. The topic is basically economically poor regions should not be declared as ecologically sensitive regions. But like I don't like accept or agree with that point. Basically, economically poor regions, like you get the term right, like it's economically poor. So the basic things, like there is no set of livelihood which can be made. There are no set of like industries which could be set up there to make a livelihood for the people living there. So why not
So
use
it
the
is not
like
audible,
why
sir.
not use the
Abhishek, put yourself on mute. Please try to not interrupt when someone else is talking. Put yourself on mute. Yeah,
Okay,
thanks.
sir.
I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you. Please stay muted. I'll get back to you. This one continue.
So yeah, it's economically a poor region. So why not, like, if we can't set up any industries? Like since it's economically poor, like industries can't be set up because you need a lot of infrastructure, a lot of raw materials that we need to be put into use and things stuff like that. We can't do that because it's economically poor. It can't be affordable. So why can't we use that particular area for a development of flora and fauna, which is actually what we need for a sustainable ecological balance, right? And for that, since 1970s, about like two-thirds of the animal population have been wiped out, and about three-fourths of the flora of fauna population have been wiped out. Flora population have been wiped out. So right now, that's what we needed actually, like flora and fauna. We need a biological diversity, not just like being a selfish motive. Yes, we need humans and our future. It's like selfish in sense, thinking about our future is also called being selfish here. Like we are thinking future of our humans alone here. We have to think that you like think about the whole thing, the whole biological, every species over here, right? And as what's her name, Latika has said, Thanos be doing, doing a snap and getting half of the population wiped. She said that's wrong and that's not right. According to me, like mature people will accept that villains are the true heroes of every movie, to be honest. Like that, like he is absolutely right. Maybe the way which he did was wrong. I agree with that. You can't snap it off things like that. That's not wrong. That's not an ideal way to do it. But the thing for the ideology, the what he wanted to achieve by doing it, that thought is absolutely correct. I say it here, and that's it. That's my point here. Actually, yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tejaswin. Thank you. Martina, you can
Okay,
take
so I'd
your
like
turn.
to start off by saying that we all have a misconception that the world is economically poor. Yes, it is, but not to the extent that we think, because there are four levels of income: income one, two, and three. Where income one, where there is no water facilities, transport, cooking, plate of food, and the water in the second level there's an improvement in water transport where there is gas for cooking and there's a plate of food. So most of the economically poor countries rely on the are in the level 2 of income. So why I would say that economically poor regions should not be declared as ecologically sensitive regions, because if there is no development in your income, infrastructure, healthcare, and education, how will you develop your ecologically areas, right? So if you need to focus on that, once people have their mindset and they're sophisticated, then things will fall into place. Um, yes, so yeah, that's all that I've got to say.
Okay.
It says more
Uh,
focus should be given to topics or developing their education, income, infrastructure, and health. Only then agriculture and animal husbandry, or you can eradicate virus or yeah.
okay. Okay. Do you want to okay, there's a lot of echo. But do you want to counter Tejaswin's points?
To be honest, I couldn't hear his points, and I think his definition was not. I don't know. I couldn't get him properly.
See,
His
okay,
definition
fine.
of economically poor was wrong. See, it doesn't mean it doesn't support livelihood. People are there, but their standards of living is low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. All right. I don't think Abhishek's mute yourself, Priscilla. See, Martina, sorry. Uh, Abhishek, you have one shot to make an argument. Please use it. Please save us some time. Abhishek? No, now you have to unmute. I think he has a very, very poor internet connection. We can't help that. Uh, Tejaswin, how about you counter if you, in case you like, how if you have any
Uh,
questions to us? So you can counter Martina's point. Just the rebuttal part. Don't make any new arguments. I've taken your arguments into consideration. Just make the
yes,
rebuttal.
sir.
I'll judge you on that.
Uh, I would like to counter the point. Uh,
Yeah.
Basically, she told, Martina told that the livelihood is not for, it's not the area in general, whereas it's just livelihood of that people are just poor. The people are just poor because there are no industries set up there. There are no like technological advancements over there. That's a basic point. Okay, like whereas when we set up like ecological, I mean, what to say, like when we declare economically poor regions as ecological sensitive regions, we create them income. Like tourism is one of the greatest income. Like India's almost, I think, third most income is coming from tourism, I guess. Like we can make tourism from there. Like they could sell their handicraft and such stuff, and we could develop their day-to-day lives in such a way, right? Like we could develop flora and fauna in the way. We could give them income. We could give them a healthy lifestyle. Like it's all a perfect balance, isn't it? Doesn't it sound a perfect thing to do, right?
Okay. That's a very
Can I
interesting
counter his
point.
point? Can I
No,
counter
no,
his
no, 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 no counting because it's a part of his argument. They can't counter this. So that's a very interesting point to make. The tourism, but I was expecting a tourism point to make, so that's good because not necessarily is it so that if it's ecologically sensitive, it doesn't need to be poor per se, right? That's a good point. I'll give credit. And also the prop, right? I feel like when you say that you can't classify poor regions as ecologically sensitive regions, right? Is there this moral narrative that is underpinning this entire narrative, right? There's this moral aspect that you are prioritizing human life form over other life forms, right? So is if that is what you're essentially trying to say or trying to do, how do you justify that? How are you going to tell me yes on the crux of it? Humans are the most important life forms, right? So I just need you to just I because you touched that topic, I just need a little bit of clarity on that to judge you better.
Okay, so that's what I was telling in my point actually. So we are not saying that we are putting humans over everybody else. But then in that specific point, we are talking about one single region. I'm telling we prioritize humans in that region and then we move the ecological system to another region which is already developed because there are various parts of the country and the world that are developed. So I'm just saying if we can move the regions over there and put the
You
industries
can't
over here.
you can't move regions. It's that's what is. See, you can change things, you can change things about a place, but you can't essentially move. Like let's say there are people, like let's say tribes are inherent to that particular geographical location. You can't extradite them or you can't put them in another place. It's not our place to. So people live where they want to. I mean, if you are putting them out of their place, it's going to affect them. If not economically, in other aspects, socially, socio-cultural issues might rise. So you can't essentially say, "I'm going to put them in other places," right? So where is your argument coming from? I want to know when you say that we are we can prioritize ourselves over other human life forms. Sorry, other life forms. Where is that coming from? I want to understand where it is coming from. I want to understand why you're making that point and how it is relevant to this. I need a justification because it's just a statement. We should prioritize, but why?
Okay, so I think at this point we've brought the world to a point where the world cannot exist without human beings. So
Okay.
we are necessarily facilitating the flow of how the world works because we adopt pets, we feed them, so we have put them in a condition this was not there before. But then right now we've put them in a condition where they can't live without us. So that's why we have to prioritize human beings. See, we can say if you take two people, just take two people and you tell if you just ask them if the government is more important or the people are more important, obviously we're going to tell both of them are important, but we need somebody governing the people. You can tell this person can be the governor. Why are you putting somebody else as the governor? Because both of them are human beings, both of them are same. But why are we prioritizing one person? Because that will be better for the entire nation. So that's why I'm telling we should prioritize humans because we've put the world in such a place where nothing else is going to work out. Animals or any other life form is not going to be able to survive without our intervention. So yeah, that's my
Right. Okay. Okay. Point duly noted. Uh, right. All right. So we can move on to the last slot. Good debate, guys. Good debate. Good job. We can move on to the next slot. Thank you, Tejan. I think Abhishek is going
thank
to
you,
join
Bharat.
again after this slot. Yeah. Right.
Next team is Kiran Kumar and Abdullah Khan from Miyasi Institute.
Yeah. Are they here?
They are yet to join.
Oh, okay. All right. Hi, Kiran. Is your teammate here?
Yes, I've told him to join.
Okay. He'll be joining that though, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah, he's joined.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, guys. Are you guys ready? Have you guys been following this entire debate? You guys know the structure and all, right? But it's going to be a bit different for you since you guys are only two people. We don't have another team to pair you up with. So it'll be Abdullah versus Kiran. Okay. It's going to be Abdullah versus Kiran, for and against. Right. I'll give you the topic in just a second. That's how we're going to start. This is the last debate. This is the last slot, if I'm not wrong, right, Archana?
Yes. Last.
Okay, fine. Okay, so I'm gonna put you against each other, and this is going to be your topic, right? Do individuals have a moral obligation to reduce plastic waste in their communities? Okay, understood. So what I'm looking for is okay. I mean, it makes scientific sense to reduce plastic waste. That's a fact. We all know. Yeah, we should be reducing. We should be using more biodegradable products. But I'm asking, do individuals have a moral obligation? So when you say moral, there's a lot of it opens a scope of argument, right? That's why I've used moral in the debate topic. So I need you to go along those lines. Don't be super scientific about it. Don't give me stats saying, okay, 90% of the plastic is non-biodegradable. I don't want that. So I need the moral underpinning. I need you to touch those lines and argue on the basis of that. And Abdullah will tell me, yes, they have a moral obligation to reduce plastic waste. And Kiran will tell me, no, they do not have a moral obligation to reduce plastic waste. Okay? Understood? Any doubts? Okay, cool.
Okay, thank you.
How many minutes do we got, sir, to prepare?
You can take preferably a couple of 2 minutes, like 2 minutes you can take. Yeah. But if you feel like you don't have enough arguments, take some more time because this is the last slot.
Sir, what about the first team? They had some technical issues, so will they be given
No, they did make their arguments. Dhanush spoke twice, in fact, and one of those team did an entire blown out this thing. So it's not that they had technical difficulties. They made their arguments. It was just short. So I think I had enough to judge them with. So I don't think. I mean, I don't see a point in repeating that debate because I've gotten what I need. But if you really feel like I need to judge them again, you can tell me. I'll do that.
Okay, because that guy was saying that he was unable to unmute himself and talk.
Who? Which team?
Harish.
Uh, Harish. Okay. Okay, Harish. Or I'll let Harish speak then. Yeah, just Harish. I don't want this full blown out debate again. I'll just give Harish a couple of minutes to speak because he's already gotten a lot of time to prepare. Yeah. So I'll just let him speak for a couple of minutes and we'll be done with that after this. All right, Kiran and Abdullah, can you start?
Who can start, sir?
Yeah, Abdullah, whoever is speaking for the motion, who's prop, Abdullah is prop, so he's going to start.
Okay. Good afternoon, myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
I'm audible. I just have doubts. Moral in the case you want a strong valid point.
Sorry, I can't just tap your earbuds in. I think
No.
the mic is far off. Yeah.
No. Moral in the case you want a strong point, like not giving definitions just by giving a single word.
Yeah, just make your arguments. I don't need stats. I don't need definitions at all. Just make whatever creative points that you can, strong, brave, with impact. Whatever points you can make, please.
Okay. I would like. I will say if we have to reduce using plastic because don't have to lose our culture. Like, culture in the case, everything comes. Plastic actually plastic is things is bought because to like time savings also we can say like it, the factors like we can say plastic has no holes easy to handle like that, okay, but by this what happened, this is also I can say the factor women became lazy because of plastic. And one other thing is the culture which I said, like which is culture. What our culture in the case the religious culture, religion itself we can take like how all our ancestors taught us to like having food and everything, like and eating and leaf case, drinking water by sitting, using that copper glass, like in the case by starting making usage of plastics, we losing our culture. Losing our culture means we are losing the healthy life and getting into the Western was day to day. Like in the end, like, we'll be expecting what all is more than the 40% of the disease what all are now today or by using of plastics. This is my point.
Okay. Thank you, Abdullah. Kiran, you can start your arguments.
So there's I don't have any arguments with Abdullah. You have said a good point of using many traditional type of
No, you're
usage like
supposed to
that.
tell me. You're supposed to argue. You're supposed to
Yeah,
go against
okay.
Abdullah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't have any point to argue with him because it is right.
Not with him.
It,
Not with him. Don't argue with him. Just tell me why individuals do not have a moral obligation. Just tell me that. You don't need to counter Abdullah. You don't need to do that. Just tell me why individuals do not have a moral obligation.
okay, let's see that plastic waste are one of the one of the waste which is considered to be the worst in our country, because most of the household peoples are using plastic as an essential product, because they have to wrap it in an wrap it for throwing the waste, and also they are not following the one particular scientific methodology called 5S. It is a Japanese type of methodology which is used in many production kind of companies. The thing is, if we use that kind of 5S methodology in using plastics, we can reduce the plastic waste in our communities.
What's 5S?
Why?
I just need to understand.
Okay, 5S is kind of an quality tool to reduce
It's like
waste.
lean management of sorts, is it?
Yeah.
Like
Lean
PQM.
manufacturing, lean management, Lean Six Sigma,
Okay. Okay.
kind of. The
Okay.
thing is, why not government implement these methodologies in day-to-day life and use it to reduce the plastic waste in our communities? Why don't they create an awareness in using these kinds of plastic waste using this methodology?
Right.
So if we use these kinds of methodology, they can distinguish between both the biodegradable product and also non-biodegradable product. So it can also be a very good thing if they initiate this kind of methodologies in day-to-day life. The thing is, the individuals are not in a mood of studying at all. Let me say, I am in a mood of studying because I am a graduate. This doesn't mean that many 55 years old or 60 years old people are not in the mood of studying at all, or they are not in the mood of learning. So they are not in a segment to accept it. So my thinking is, why don't they take an initiative to engage in these kind of campaigns
All right.
or awareness program?
All right, Kiran. Thank you. You made a good point. You shifted the narrative from individuals to government institutions. So I feel like that was a very good point. Very well thought of. So thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Abdullah.
I'm sorry.
Archana, can we call Harish?
Yes.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, I can't hear you, Kiran.
I'm sorry that the background noise was disturbing. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
it's no problem. No problem.
I have to go somewhere though, probably.
Yeah, chill. No problem. Take care. Yeah, I'll be ready for Harish if he's willing to talk. Abdullah, your slot is done. If you want to leave, you can leave, or if you want to watch, you can. Yeah, if you, your slot is done. Yeah, hi Harish.
Hi, sir. Sir, can I continue from where our team left?
Yeah, Harish, you can. I'll just reiterate the topic. Yeah, it was should single-use plastic be banned, and you were speaking for against the topic, right?
No, for banning the plastics.
Oh, sorry, Harish. Oh, I got confused with Harish.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Harish, you'll be speaking for that it should be banned, right? Okay. I'll give you 2 minutes. Give me your best argument.
Yeah. Actually, now Narendra Modi has been said that single-use plastic should be banned, and it's been implemented in India. But actually, I will speak for him as the single-use plastics. Actually, in restaurants and all, they use the single-use plastics, which will be used for wrapping the hot objects. The plastics contain estrogen amount, which can lead into some diseases in our body, as the hormones level will be increased. And also the plastics is being made by the energy which is used to make the plastics are very much more. This can be used to make other renewable objects which can be easily decomposed, and the plastics takes many years or decades to decompose into our soil. which will stop the plant growths in the soil. And also these plastics are very expensive, and plastics is extremely high volume. And also the consumers actually cannot recycle the plastic bags easily. Yeah, that's all.
All right, Harish. Duly noted. Your points are noted. I'll adjust you accordingly. Cool. Thank you so much for coming back and making these points. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me another opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all right. Have a good day. All right. Archana, I just have one quick question. So, how many places are there, and with regards to results and stuff, should I get back to you on call, or can I ask you?
You
Can I
can
ask you
announce
here?
it now.
Oh, I can announce it now. Are they here?
They'll be
Are those
on the
participants?
live stream.
Okay, they'll be on the live stream. All right. So, there are 3 places, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So just give me a second. I'll just finalize.
Sure.
Okay. I think feedback I already gave as and when the debate ended. So for me, from like the criteria that I already mentioned, clarity of arguments, impact and brevity and relevance. These 3 things are what I've looked out throughout the debate. And for me, I'll announce in reverse, yeah, 3-2-1, like conventionally. So for me, I feel like it was a close call for me between Tejaswin and Tejaswin, that was an individual participant, and Kaushal and Gavin, right? So it was a close call for me, but making a call between these 2 teams for the 3rd place. But for me, Tejaswin had the edge with respect to the fact that he made a really, really creative point, which shattered the proposition's arguments. So I felt like that gave him the edge, and I put him 3rd. So Tejaswin is 3rd. Tejaswin and Abhishek, but Abhishek didn't really participate. Second for me is Lionel and Nalin. I don't know which college, but I've noted the names down. Lionel and Nalin came second. I put them second because they made really strong, and all their arguments made sense, which is a plus to them, and they were able to counter pretty well. They were able to make points which had a lot of relevance. It wasn't that they were countering for the sake of countering. Their arguments were very, very they were underlining the entire debate, and they summed it up really well, especially the second person, I think Nalin was the closing whip, so he was really good with his arguments, and yeah, so that's why I put them second in my opinion. And first for me is Mahima and Anurag, because of the clarity in their thought and the clarity in the arguments that they were putting forth. It might not necessarily have been the best arguments that they could have put forth, because I feel like they didn't have as much time for the topic that I had given them. But with whatever time I did give them, they were able to come up with really, really very sensible and succinct and very, very smart points to define the scope of the entire debate. So they debated very smartly, and that I feel like secures them to first place. So that's Mahima and Anurag place first, Lionel and Nalin second, and Tejaswin third. Right? Okay. All right. So thank you for inviting me. It was a good debate.
Thank you so much for joining us and spending your time.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Have a good day. So good luck with this event as well. Yeah.